You want the best for your car? You already watch our tutorials.
So the best place for the best deal is to buy from the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You will find the TRW control arms used in the video through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. You must remove the wheels in order to change the control arms on your vehicle. This will give you full access to the suspension system. Lift the front of the vehicle. Place the vehicle on the axle stands. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, bracing your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. Turn the disc inwards. This will facilitate the process. Then, using a ratchet, a 13mm socket and a 13mm spanner, loosen the retaining screw and the control arm ball joint. Remove the screw. You can use a snap ring and a hammer to remove it. Spray the steering knuckle at the ball joint with penetrating oil. Be careful not to get any degreaser on the disc. If you do, make sure to decontaminate the disc using brake cleaner. Using a hammer, insert a fairly thin chisel into the opening of the steering knuckle at the suspension ball joint. This will create a slight opening to help you remove the ball joint with ease. On this vehicle, it is difficult to extract the control arm ball joint from the steering knuckle. Install a metal clamping clip on the suspension arm. Next, insert a crowbar resting on rubber buffers in order to pry and disengage the suspension ball joint from the steering knuckle. You can use the hammer to create vibrations that will facilitate removal. Using a socket wrench and a 15mm socket, loosen the screw holding the front silent block on the control arm. Then remove it. Brush the screw holding the rear silent block on the control arm and spray it with penetrating oil. Using a socket wrench and a 15mm socket, unscrew the rear holding screw on the control arm. You can now remove the control arm by prying it off with large screwdriver or crowbar. Brush and lubricate the location of the control arm to facilitate its reinstallation.
All parts used in this tutorial are supplied by our trusted partners. These partners also help us create as many video tutorials as possible. Check them out in the description below.
You will find the TRW parts and products used in the video in the link in the description. Remove the protection on the ball joint. Take the new control arm. Put the new control arm in place. You can use a screwdriver to line it up and screw it in more easily. Once in place, roughly screw in the screws by hand. Then put the front part of the control arm back in place. Then roughly tighten the front retaining screw. Replace the control arm ball joint in the steering knuckle. Insert the new ball joint retaining screw supplied in the kit. You can use a hammer to help you. Screw the ball joint retaining screw back in. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. It is now time to lift the control arms at the ball joint using a jack. The silent blocks on the engine subframe side must be tightened in the vehicle on the ground position in order to preserve their integrity. Finalize the tightening of the screws with a torque wrench. Remove the jack. You can now repeat the operation on the other side. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. During this operation, you will be working on the front axle of your car, so it is advisable to perform a parallelism afterwards. Put your car back on the ground and block the wheels securely. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from Usetool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We will be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.